Our 2 cents.
With Oscar.
Welcome back to our 2 cents. We're doing it again here at Raxo Studios with Oscar, your host. Our 2 cents, w.com, our 2 cents on all social media. Thank you for all your support. Please hit that subscribe button. It's free to you and it means the world to me. Thank you. And now, happy National Sibling Day. National Sibling Day, aka referred to as Sibling Day. Who refers National Sibling Day as Sibling Day? On April 10th each year honors our brothers and sisters, siblings. They are our best friends and our worst enemies. And if you don't have a sibling, then you are your worst enemy. At times, siblings will provide us with our biggest competitions, strongest encouragement, and remind us of our most embarrassing moment. They are good at that. Fictional characters describe those siblings best who are both rivals and yet best of bestest friends. From the Brady Bunch, fuck that is, to the Cosby family, the only Cosby that we all know is the one that got away with shit all over his hands. The Simpsons and the Pearsons, whoever the fuck that is. Out of those four that I named, I only know two of them. Siblings tells our stories in a humorous and dramatic form. Okay, I don't know who the fuck the Brady Bunch is. I don't know what the plot was, but I'm gonna put all my chips in that nobody can relate to whoever the fuck the Brady Bunch are. I'll put my chips on that. And also, the Cosby family, I will definitely put my chips and double them up, all of them in there, that nobody wants to be relatively related in any shape, way, or form to the Cosby family. That's a little weird if you want to relate to that. The Simpsons. Well, look at that. The Simpsons is just a fictional character. There's no fucking way, shape, or form that somebody exists like Bart. Eat my shorts. Who the fuck says that? I said it to my kids. They got to laugh. That was funny. And the Pearsons, again, I don't know what the fuck that is. But my point is, television does not tell our stories. They tell their stories and they make it humorous and dramatic, or they say way too much. It's mainly dramatic. Well, it is humorous. They're all funny, I guess. But they do not tell the story of a real human with a regular life. However, real life royal siblings Queen Elizabeth and Prince Margaret had a different set of rules to follow, making their relationship quite different from anything we would call normal. Being a queen will do that. Queen Elizabeth's grandson, Prince William, and Harry, and William's children to have royal siblings relationship and engage the world. Now that we get into this subject, royal families, why? I mean, it is. I don't even know what to say. I'm not even going to get into that because the Queen pisses me off. Whoever, if you're from London or England, tell your Queen to go fucking do something already. Anyways, each year on April 10th, National Farm Animal Day focus. Oh, Let me back up. Happy National Farm Animal Day. Each year on April 10th, National Farm Animal Day focuses attention on the humane care of farm animals. They also aim to find home for abandoned and abused farm animals. Now, I've never met anybody that wants to adopt a cow. That's just it. Who is going to want to adopt a cow? Being that it is National Farm Day, so get out there, adopt a cow. Fuck. A variety of animals have been domesticated and raised on farms for food. Cows, meat. Can't go wrong with that. Can I adopt a cow and then eat it? It'll be the cheapest form of meat you'll ever buy. Think about it. They provide eggs, milk, cheese, and meat, wool, leather, and other products. Most farmers raise their livestock responsibly, providing a quality environment for them to grow. For them to grow benefits the animals and the farmer too. Farmers invest in their livestock from the time they are born, providing them nutritious foods. See, these people, I'm better writing at this. And ensuring robust and healthy development. No, I suck at writing. They also provide ideal conditions for their breed. Farmers are continuously educating themselves about the livestock they raise so that they can provide them with the best care possible. However, some people do abuse and neglect their animals. When poor conditions are discovered and animals are malnourished, it is essential to report the case to the veterinarian for review. I wish people would put more care into that. You know what? And that's even a bold statement to say because there's no FBI for animals. So how are they putting more care into that? Anyways, the FBI gets it right all the time. They're never wrong. What are you talking about? Anyways, happy if it is your national day. Well, there it is. There you have it. Happy National Sibling Day and happy National Farm Animal Day to you. For you all animal lovers. I love animals. I do. Anyways, it is the 213th episode. We've been at this. Wow. When I started, I couldn't even formulate a continuous sentence. It was so complicated. But now we're at the 213th episode after over hundreds of people that I've talked to. It's been a journey and it's just getting started and I'm this excited about it, and just as excited I am as to talk to Edgar Garcia. He's an online designer who loves to share creative knowledge for the youngins. He's an art director, he works with a design agency, designing photos and videos and such. He's also an educator and involved in sports. So without further ado, we will learn a little bit about web design, not web designs, about design, about the world of the designers. Everything we used, microphones, you name it. The earbuds, you're probably listening to this. The headphones, you're probably listening to this. The computer, you're probably watching this on. Everything and anything that we use goes through the creative mind of designers like my friend Edgar Garcia.
Stays. Cool. We good?
There we're good. That looks
Cool,
good.
man.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, how you doing? Edgar,
I'm
correct?
good, man. Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah. What's up, dude? What's up?
good,
What's
good.
up?
I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself. Please tell us what you do and also please
Cool.
plug everything you have going on.
Shoot. All right. So Edgar Garcia, um, live in Southern California, overall hybrid creative, I guess. I'm an actual art director full time for higher education, and we can get into that later.
All right.
But then I run my own kind of design agency business on the side. Been doing that for quite a while now. And then I used to be an educator, like a teacher adjunct. So I really like educating. I got a family and basically just the grind every single day, you know?
Right.
That's in a
Yeah,
nutshell. That's
that's
my Wikipedia of me.
of course, right? That's all we could
Yeah,
do now, right? Just keep finding a passion and just run with it and work at it. So if you want it to be
yeah,
successful, you got to put in the time.
exactly, exactly.
And most of us, I think, find that harder. And the people who have never done anything and like myself, and they're searching to do something, it's hard for those people to find a passion. One being the regular 9 to 5 gets in the way. For in my case,
Right,
it's 5 to
right.
1. And being mentally tired from your 9 to 5, it's a it's a hard thing to shake. At least for me.
Yeah, I got you.
And it all comes down to discipline at the end of the day. And also, how bad do you want it? And if you're
Yeah,
willing to put in the time.
yeah. No, exactly,
Go.
exactly. Yeah, man. So, no, yeah, you kind of nailed it in the head. Like, it ain't easy. It ain't easy. And I always, so like I said, I go back to my education. When I used to teach, right? I used to teach, and I used to tell the young kids that want to be designers, uh, it's a grind. Like the creative industry, because I'm a designer, right?
Right.
I dabble in photography, I dabble in video, whatever. But at heart, I'm a designer, graphic designer with a degree in design or whatever you want to call it, right?
Right.
Um, but yeah, it's the people that have made it is because they put in the time. They go sleepless hours uh, when you first start, and even now, you know. So yeah, if you want to get somewhere, like the people that I follow on Instagram, the people that I say they've made it, uh, they're the ones that keep me on my toes. You know, because even if they're young, they're working with the Nikes and the Disneys and whatever the world, and they're doing it relentlessly. They're not stopping. They're not stopping. So when I see them posting all this stuff and I see what they're doing, I see their portfolios and I see their client list, I'm like, damn, I'm being lazy, you know. But it's you guys. It's something that comes from within too. I'm a very competitive person. I grew up in sports, so I think that has something to do with it. Is that I'm super ambitious and competitive, and I think that definitely in just the creative field is you kind of have to have that because this ain't a government job. You go home, you know, 9 to 5, go home, get your check, and then that's it. You
Mm-hmm.
know?
This is solely up to you. You know, I haven't I've experienced the. I have never worked for myself. It's always been working for a job, right? But
Yeah.
recently I started doing DoorDash like on the side, just a little extra
Okay.
helps,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
and I started doing it, and I realized that I got to change something in me. Because now, mind you, DoorDash, you do it on your time. It's if you do it, you make money. If you don't, well, you
Right.
obviously you don't make
You don't make
money,
money. Yep.
right? And that job is so easy for me to put in just 3 hours and be like, I'm done. I'm tired. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go home.
Yeah.
But my regular 9 to 5, that job, that one, whether I want to stay or not, I have to
Yep.
stay there till I'm not, till I'm
Yep.
done, I should say. And what I realize is that some things got to change for sure. I mean, I already knew that shit had to change, but I just didn't know what. Now, as I'm progressing in what I've chosen to do, which is all the content creator stuff that
Right.
a lot of people
Okay.
seek. I, I I maintain myself a lot on TikTok. I used to maintain myself on Instagram a lot, but
Okay.
when TikTok came into the picture, I jumped shipped to TikTok. But it took me forever to start making videos on TikTok. There was probably more than a year since I had been using TikTok and without
Yeah.
even
Yep. I feel you.
just being a consumer and not being a creator, which is what I
Right.
want, which is what I want to do. And it's so easy, but it's hard for the same reason that I'm trying to show an explanation of my my regular side gig, which is it's all on me, basically, more or less. The timing that
Right.
I put in, I should say, is more on me. And the 9 to 5, it's the timing that I'm supposed to be there. I have to be there.
Right.
Otherwise, one or two things are gonna happen. One of them it happens in the same other one. I'm not gonna get paid for the time that I'm not there, obviously, and I'm not gonna make the money that I make on a regular basis. But the other one is I have to stay because if I don't stay, I'm gonna get fired. And nobody
Right.
and
Right.
obviously I need it for now for me to stay afloat. Because
Yeah. Yeah.
it's complicated when you choose something else that you're not used to. That's what I guess what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Like, and I can definitely relate. And that's what I be telling especially like, I connect with a lot of young designers or a lot of young creatives, right? Because I work in higher education. So at the university that I work at, we have a design program. So I run into them a lot, and I run into the photographers and the designers that have this dream painted that they're gonna graduate and go work for Disney, go work for Nike, and then when I break it down, the reality of it is, dude, it ain't easy. You got to put in the work, or you got to get real lucky. You got to get real lucky. But I always tell them the sweet spot is having a 9 to 5, and then having a 6 to 12. And you hire yourself from 6 to 12, and that's your time to build whatever you want to build.
Yeah.
So you get your bread over here to pay your bills, and then I call it the second shift. And then you just go, you chill for a little bit. And I got kids. I got 3 kids. So these kids that are like these young cats that have no kids and just watching Netflix. I'm like, bro, you're wasting your time. Like, if I didn't have any kids right now, like, that's crazy. I got 3 kids, a dog, a wife, a house, and when they go to sleep, I clock in and I get shit done. You
Yes.
know,
Same
and I
here.
hired myself 6 to 12. You know, so yeah, that's the real that's the sweet spot where you're at right now.
Right.
You got the 9 to 5 that get that bread, pay your bills, and then you do what you want to do. And what I tell them nowadays is not even like people have like uh, decision paralysis. Like they have they can't make decisions. They're scared to post stuff. They're scared to share their stuff because it's not perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
And nowadays, you can be more successful just being consistent than being perfect. People don't care about perfection nowadays.
Now it's just
Is you can
consistent.
be a mediocre creative and just pushing shit out every single day, every single day, and being consistent. You can be more successful than being Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah, for
You know?
sure. I mean, you get more eyes on you for sure nowadays than Leonardo
Yep.
da Vinci ever did in his time.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking about this right now that you said the most young people are just content just watching Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Because I've changed the way I think because let's say maybe over 3 to 4 years ago, my train of thought was I'm gonna work hard at my job and I'm gonna get the next position and I'm gonna make more money.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bust my ass at this job and get more money. But I realize that is never gonna happen. But at the same time, I wasn't realizing that I was the only one changing mindset. In the world around me, it's staying the same. Most people that I stop
Mm-hmm.
messing with, that I stop fucking with, they are staying the same. And I've lost contact with those people because
Yep.
mainly it's just we're in a different path, and I have a different thought where I don't want to be just the consumer of content.
Yeah. Yeah. They say you're the average of the 5 people that you hang out with. So if you hang out with people that are just working a dead end job and don't want nothing else, and you're gonna talk about that when you guys are out. You're gonna go to those places. You're gonna go blow your money, and you're just the same way. So if you
Right.
surround yourself with people that push you and talk about investments and talk about creating and talk about different things, it gets competitive. And you can push it. Like you found me on Instagram. I don't know how you found me, but you found me on Instagram.
TikTok.
And yeah, TikTok, okay. And then you're like, hey, you want to hook up? I was actually family vacation, and I was like, who's this guy? Is a scam or what? All right, yeah, whatever. Like, I'm like, I'm always up for meeting new people.
Right, of
And people are
course.
scared, and people are scared to do that too. People are so scared nowadays to just meet new people. Like, they're so introverted now,
Right.
um, and they close so many opportunities that way. You
Yeah.
know, so yeah, it's definitely it's definitely a hustle.
It's work.
But I think it makes sense to hire yourself. That's what a lot of people say. Hire yourself. Um, and it was a mind shift for me because like I was like, you two is okay, 9 to 5, 9 to 5. I'm gonna just move up, move up, move up, move up. I got stuck at this job. It's not stuck because it's a good job, right?
Hmm.
But then I started doing stuff on the side in the last 5 years. I'm like, why am I almost making as much money as I do on my full-time job now? And then I'm like, should I quit? But then I'm like, I can do both though, and I'm like, dude, this is illegal, like the legal drug dealing. If you think about it, sky's the limit. Like Biggie says, sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Like you can build, like I can make my bills over here, but you can build an empire outside of it and still have a safety net.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's sky's the limit nowadays. So if you're broke, it's because you don't want to put in the work. That's it.
And you know what? A lot of people will look at that comment that you just said and give you the evil eye because they think you're a capitalist that only enjoys capitalism, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And the way I see the capitalism is just it gives opportunity people like you and I that have no history
right.
of family success as far as
Right.
monetary success.
Yeah.
Um, None of that, and it gives us the opportunity to jump in that ship. Now, people will come at you and cry and tell you, "Oh, you'll never join it because it's impossible. They don't want you to join it." But when they say they, like, what do they mean? Because I think that because it's hard to join that crowd because to earn that amount of money or have that amount of success that those people have, it's not easy. It's not going to happen overnight. And that's why it seems so easy for people to say, oh, they don't want you to join their group because it's an elite group that you're not allowed in.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you're,
No, I got you. But so a lot of people see it monetarily, right? But like I see it as it's a mindset, right? So success. So I'm gonna ask you. I know this is your podcast, cool.
oh, go
But
ahead,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
ask
No
you, like,
worry. No, no.
what's your definition of success, like to your life? Like, what does that look like?
Doing what you want
Right.
and minding your own businesses
Mm-hmm.
and doing what you want and taking care of your finances yourself. And what I mean by that is when I say taking care of your finances yourself, I mean earning the pay for you, not for somebody
Right.
else so that they can pay you. That's what success
Right.
is to me. And
And I think
also,
that's a yep. Yep. Yep.
also, my goal is not to be rich. No.
Right.
And I've said it many times in the last couple of days because I really do believe this. Um, my goal is to be successful enough to where I go to a restaurant or go out on vacation, wherever the case may be, I don't have to worry about the bill.
Yep.
That's my goal. To me,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. Yeah. No,
success.
that's cool. And the I tell the kids that I mentor or that I have at the community college is that success looks different for everyone. The problem is that people automatically think success is they're talking about monetary value, right?
Right.
But success looks different for everyone. For me, I think freedom is more important right now because I have a family, right? I would take a 20% pay cut if I could only work part time, or if I can be 100% remote, because I can be at home more. So to
Right.
me, that's more successful to me than being a millionaire,
I
right?
agree with you.
Uh,
Definitely.
so it definitely is different, um, and what I tell you is, and social media's fucked it up for everyone. Sorry,
No, don't worry. Keep
but
going.
because they compare themselves to like uh, the people posting on there, and it's a lie, it's fake, and it's messing with your head. It's not even real. So uh, I tell them, I say, hey man, figure out, you got to be confident is what do you want for yourself. You got to figure that out first, because if you start looking everywhere else, you'd be like, damn, I want a yacht. You ain't never getting a yacht. Damn, I want this, a Ferrari. You might get a Ferrari, but you got to figure out what success means to you, and then you got to go and chase it. And there's a really good analogy that I went to a conference once, and this lady, she says, how do your next 5 years look in success? And I said, fuck, I don't know. I have no idea. And then she says, okay, a pole vaulter, right? A pole vaulter, before they run, they they have a target to hit, and
Right.
that's where you want to land in 5 years. So right now, you got to wind up and you got to put in the work to get over that bar. But you already see the target over there. So you don't have a target. You know what the fuck you're hitting.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to set that target before you even go like podcast. Okay, cool. I want to have 100 episodes by the end of whatever. Like boom, that's a target right there, and you can actually do the exact focused work to get there,
Mhm.
and that's what I've been trying to work on too myself. It's like the past 5 years.
Yeah, you know what? You know what helps me out a lot to keep me accountable, and I
So
just realized this week. I mean, like I said, I've came into focusing my goals not that long ago, but because like I said earlier, back then I was just waiting for the next position and
yeah,
better pay. That's all I was waiting for. I wasn't seeking for anything. But now I've chosen to, and I lost my train of thought. What I was going to say with that, Jesus Christ. Anyways, but
you
yeah,
good, you good, you good.
you said you played sports. What sport you
Yeah.
play?
Yeah, I played all sports, like except for soccer. Like I'm Mexican. Are you Mexican? I don't know. I'm
I'm
Mexican,
Salvadorian.
right?
So yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I like mess around. I'm a joking kind of guy. I'm not racist, but
Nah,
that
don't worry, but keep
like
going.
soccer, like soccer should be the only sport that I should have played when I was young, and that's the only sport my mom didn't put me in. She put me in swimming. She put me in basketball. She put me in hockey. She put me in everything, And I think
Okay.
I do the same thing with my kids because I think that teaches just ambition and competitivism,
Discipline.
teamwork, a bunch of stuff. But yeah, right now I should be watching the Lakers, but I don't want to see them lose, so I'm like, yeah, whatever. So
You'll read about it later, right?
yeah, I'm worried about it later. I'll cry later about it. But yeah, anyway, ask away, man.
Okay, that's
What else you
awesome.
want to know about me? Yeah,
Yeah, no, the design is what I know there's many things that you could have chosen to do, but design. And
yeah,
I don't know anything about design other than make pictures. I now you
yeah,
mentioned
yeah.
videos. I didn't know
That's
I
what's
didn't
up.
know that
That's
was
what's up.
considered design as well.
Okay,
So
okay, cool.
how did
Design
you
101.
all right? So how did
Yeah.
what entitled you into
Okay.
picking
Yeah.
that
I'll
career
go back
path?
into my teaching mode. I'll go back into my teaching mode. Um, Long story short, so I want to be an architect. I want to be an architect, and I applied for UCLA. I applied for a couple other schools, and my grades were good enough. They were like, "No, you can't get in. You can't get in. You can't get in." Last resort was going to a local Cal State. So I went there, and I love sports. I was like, "I'm gonna go do kinesiology." I took a biology class. It just sucked, man. It was too much like reading and health, and I suck at reading. I hate reading. I hate writing. Straight up, that's what I tell the kids when I go talk to them. And and then I started I took a graphic arts class, graphic arts, right? So that was graphic arts. And that's where I learned how to screen print T-shirts. That's how I learned how to like make logos. That's how I learned how to work with Photoshop, Illustrator, that kind of stuff. So then the clubs in the college, they started, hey, can you make shirts for me? Can you make shirts for me? So then I started making T-shirts. I started making party flyers. Um, and when I look back, it's terrible now, but that's where I started, right? That's where I started. And then
Yeah.
I full-fledged jumped into graphic arts, graphic design nowadays. Um, and got my degree in graphic design. And then from there, started at some little jobs until I landed the job at the university. And I've been there for like 15 years already. And uh, when I landed there, I took advantage of them basically being a big organization. And they were like, if you need any training, we'll send you anywhere. So I started like fucking taking advantage. I was like, send me to
Oh,
Adobe conferences. I went to like every Adobe conference on their dime.
wow.
Just kind of a sponge, learning everything, right? So that's where I learned photography. I learned video. But it was just a passion that I had. So I've never, even to now, I've never stopped learning. So in a nutshell, design, graphic design, there's so many aspects of it now. It's like digital product design and app design industrial, whatever. But the whole graphic design is the whole Photoshop, Illustrator, logo, branding, all that kind of stuff. So long story short is that's where I learned to do pretty much everything that I do now. And then, like I said, recently, the last 5 years, I really tapped into what I like, which is sports and hip hop. And
Mm.
I started doing stuff for myself. And like it's true, like if you build it, they'll come. And I started just doing stuff for myself that was cool, little illustrations here and little design. I started posting it, and people started hitting me up. And I was like, "What?" And I was able to like charge, and they're like, "Yeah, cool, you're dope." And I was like, "What? Nah, I'm not that good. All right, cool, whatever." And yeah, in the last 5 years, it's been growing. It's been growing where I've been fortunate enough to work on people like right now. I'm actually working some stuff for the Golden State Warriors. I
What?
I just finished some stuff for Shaquille O'Neal. We've done stuff for Guy Fury. the food guy, and then I've done stuff for like Ferrari because I know people over there, and then so I'm still waiting for to do stuff for Nike. I haven't done anything for Nike yet, but
Oh, that's coming. Yeah.
so it's kind of been put yourself out there and a lot of failure, and sometimes shit hits, and you're like, oh damn, all right, cool, yeah, let's get it done.
Yeah, that's exciting to me. Like to
So
hear.
ask away, yeah. And then in between there, like I said, I taught at community college because I was like, fuck it, I'm bored. I got an extra 3 hours in my week. Let me teach. And then that lasted for like a year. And I was like, man, fuck these kids. Like,
That's right.
but not in a bad way. Not in a bad
No, I
way.
get you. I
Before,
get it.
like before people hate me is because I would have I would have a class with about 15 students, and out of 15 students, two of them wanted to learn, and the rest wouldn't show up. They wouldn't care. And I was like, man, I got family at home. I'm wasting my time with you guys. So I would focus on the kids that wanted to be there. So I
Yeah.
lasted like 2 years, and I said, forget that. And then I started doing like you said, like TikTok stuff, and just on social media, just making myself more available for just mentoring anyone. Like just, hey, you got a question, hit me up. Like let's chat. Let's go to coffee. I don't know you, but whatever. I'll buy you coffee. Let's talk about fonts. Let's talk
Right.
about whatever. Let's whatever like this.
Anything.
Let's,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
talk.
yeah.
Let's talk about whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. When when somebody reaches out to learn design, now
Yeah.
it's is that something that it's required to have a college degree on, or can
That's a
I
good
can like
question.
person like me just learn it and take advantage of what I've learned and seek monetary value with it?
Yeah.
Can I do
That's a good.
something like that?
That's a good question. Yes and no. Yes and no.
Okay.
Right. So you have if you want to go work for a company, a lot of them require require a bachelor's degree. I don't know why,
Oh,
right? But a lot of them require a bachelor's degree. If you go to the really big companies, um, like the Nikes, and you have that much experience, you have 20 years experience with no degree, but your portfolio and your work shows it. You can get hired with Google, Nike, if you're that fucking good. But they're tip top premium, the best of the best, right? Um, but like I said, the majority of people, companies are looking, okay, uh, minimum of a bachelor's degree in design, right?
hmm.
But on the flip side is if you just want to do this shit on the side, freelance, learn how to use the programs, learn the fundamentals of design, start putting yourself out there and start charging. And if people are going to pay you, well, then there you go. You have your own business.
Wow.
There's a company called Fiverr out there. That Fiverr, someone goes on Fiverr. You heard of Fiverr or no?
Yeah, yeah, I know Fiverr. I
Yeah.
know him very
So
well.
yeah. So you go and you hire graphic designers on there, and I'm guessing the majority of them don't have a degree, but they're probably better than a lot of the kids out here that do have a degree.
A lot of them are from India
You know?
too, so that
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
they kill it. So yeah. So yes and no. Like you want to work for a company, a lot of them require it, but like I said, if you want to do freelance on your own, no client's gonna go out there and be like, let me see your degree. If your shit's dope and it's banging and it meets their budget, they're gonna hire you. It's just you
Yeah,
gotta put in the work to put together your work to show
right.
them that you can do it. You know?
Yeah, right. Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. But
Yeah.
like schooling and you only out of 15 people getting only two people that are really interested in learning what
Yeah.
you're trying to show them. To me, that just goes to show that school's not for everybody.
Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
absolutely right. Yeah.
for me, for example, I went to college for sure. I went for like an hour, and then I was like, I'm done with
Yeah.
this. I already did
Yeah.
12 years. I'm not gonna do this anymore.
Yeah.
But part of
Yeah.
me regrets it today because maybe I would have gotten something else out of it, or maybe I would have ended up in the same situation as today. But who knows? It's
Yeah.
definitely something would have changed. But yeah, I only went for like an hour, and then I walked out because I was like, I'm
Yeah,
done.
it's funny because I'm torn because I work for higher education, right? I work
Okay,
for higher education, so I'm supposed to be pushing
right,
a degree, right?
right, because you're in the
But I'm torn, right? Because it's like, okay, they want me to do that, but um, student debt ain't no joke. Student debt's no joke, right?
can't get rid
So
of it.
then, so then me is like when kids have asked me, even kids that are trying to go to the school that I work for, I'm like, bro, like, all right, like, yes, a degree is good to have, but if you can't afford it, like, there's other options. Like, go to community college first.
Yeah,
Get your 2 years out of the way, right? Because you can like the software, you can learn it on YouTube, man. Like what I learned in college to be, and this is what I tell kids: if you're going to go to college, don't go for a photography degree. If you go to college, go to be an engineer, a doctor, a nurse,
Yeah.
something that you need a degree for, um, but for something like this, I'm like, dude, like, go get your degree in business and learn that side instead, and just
I'm
learn to be a
telling you.
designer on the side. So you have a degree in something, just if you want to go work for a whatever. The only thing I learned in college is how to tap kegs. That's what I tell people, right? But but at the same time, it taught me how to be um, responsible for my own time management,
Yeah.
right? Time management, because the first day, in college you go, they don't care if you're there or not. Just give me the money,
They keep
and
going.
you can leave if you want. We'll fail you. We don't care,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just time management. That's what I learned, and how to network with people. That's the biggest thing nowadays, is networking with people.
Yeah.
But a lot of the stuff I just like a lot of the actual technical design stuff I learned just on the job, or like I said, on YouTube and conferences or whatever.
Well, there's nothing better than hands-on experience.
Nothing
Yeah.
better, nothing better. Yeah, but you gotta want it too. You gotta be a sponge, because if you don't, then it's out there. It's out there. If I want to go learn and be a coder, I could go do that today. You know,
It doesn't. Who has a free course of that? I think
fucking YouTube,
MIT.
anyone. Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah,
but no,
yeah,
Harvard has a free
yeah.
coding class online that you could take, and,
You're
and,
right.
and that's free. Anybody can go and sign up and take it. See,
Yeah,
I know that, but I'm
yeah.
too lazy and I won't even go look at that.
Well, because you're not passionate about that. But look, I bet you I can figure out how to do a podcast, but I'm too lazy because I'm not passionate about it. I'd rather you do it and I just talk to you about it.
Right, right. No, I hear you. I guess I never thought about it that way. Even though I know that I have passion for this, and like I said, life gets in the way. But
Yeah.
when life gets in the way, you just got to push on. It's just
Right.
all about the goal, right? Definitely, yes. So the part of the art that I don't understand about an art design and a
Okay.
designer is
Yeah.
when say you're working on a logo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you ever do it by hand or it's all online?
Yeah. So
I mean,
there's
on
so
computer.
there's a bunch of different disciplines in design, right?
Okay.
Just like it's gonna create a field. Videography, I can bring that. Video, photography, design. And within design, there's specifically logo designers, sometimes specifically just people that do logos. There's
Okay.
specifically people that just do websites. There's specifically people that just do apps, like
Of
uh,
course.
the UI design, which is like how it looks when you go on Twitter and Instagram, and they design that stuff out. Product design, where they go and they make products, but yeah, but for example, like the process of how that looks, and it's basically the same for everything. It's you need to like it's called a creative process, right?
Right.
You need to meet with your clients, or meet with whoever has a problem, because we're trying to solve a problem creatively, right? Who has a problem? Let's say a logo. Let's just do a logo. A company comes to you, hey, I want a logo. All right, cool. Let's meet up with them. What's your problem? Oh, well, I have a logo. My logo doesn't work. That's not the problem. What's the real problem? Okay, I'm not getting. People don't know that I sell vegetables because my logo is a letter A. All right. Now we're getting down to the problem. So we're doing a lot of asking questions and doing a lot of research, right?
Right.
And then um, once we do that, then we go into the next phase or whatever. And it looks different for everyone, because I know people that go straight into the softwares and start messing around with it. I know people that go into still pencils and sketch. I know people that like use iPads and sketch like that too. But right there, you're trying to basically solve a problem that the client has with a logo or a brand. Um,
Mm.
so yeah, so that part of the process, you're sketching it out. You're trying to figure out what iconography, what typography, what vibe, what tone is going to work for this project. And once you do that, you're meeting with them back and forth. Everyone, like I said, everyone has their different creative process, but you're meeting with the client back and forth until you land on something that works, and then you kind of explore a bunch of options. You finalize it, obviously, in like software, like not Photoshop for logos, but like Illustrator or whatever other softwares are out there. And yeah,
Canva.
and then from there, and it depends on how big the client is and how big this project is, because I can do someone's logo, like a small mom and pop shop, in a matter of like 2 3 weeks, right? We're meeting with them, doing some research, making sure it's not copywritten somewhere, showing them some proofs and sketches, finalizing the design, sending them files, right? Like 2 3 week process, right? But if you look at
Right.
when they redesign Pepsi or Instagram, that's like a year long process, 2 year long process. and it's like
Uh-huh.
$1 million project for Pepsi. Pepsi paid like $2-3 million, I think. I forgot what, $1 million for their logo
Just
because they
for
hired an
those,
agency.
just
Just a
for
logo,
those.
yeah, because yeah,
Comes.
because they hired an agency, and then
Wow.
that agency, that agency goes and does all this research and data and analysis and focus groups because that is going to represent the brand. So
Right.
so that's where it's like, and we're just talking about logos, but I mean with just anything like with a campaign or whatever, like social media campaign, I can design a few slides for someone's social media in a day or two, right? But if you're talking about you're gonna go and do a social media campaign for Nike, like you're probably gonna take a long time
Oh, you
to do
want
that,
Nike
and there's a
work?
there's a lot of there's a lot of hoops to jump through. So it's just it's different based on clients, based on needs, based on a bunch of different stuff. But yeah, this is a creative process. You do a lot of research, a lot of like a lot of ideation, exploration, and then you get into the nitty gritty of actually designing.
Right.
Which is like kind of a small process of it. And then you go into like the sales portion of it. Like now you got to sell your idea to the client. Hey, I think you should have a logo of a carrot because you fucking sell carrots, and it should be orange because oranges are carrot,
Carrots.
and
Yeah.
or it should be red because the color red invocates this mood for your clients or whatever, pink because the majority of your clients are females or whatnot,
Mm.
so there's a lot of psychological stuff that goes through that too. Um, so yes, that's like the creative process in a nutshell. Uh, yeah.
Right. No, definitely. Definitely. Now, is there a company that you're like, I could do a better job than that? Now, I'm not saying that you're a hater,
Yeah,
but
yeah, I
let's
got
just
you.
say you're
Yeah, I
you're
got you.
hating on that logo that you saw, and you're like, I could do a better job than that.
So I think it's like, and it's funny you bring this up because nowadays everyone likes to do that. Is Instagram when they redesign their logo, everyone was hating on it. Instagram's logo sucks, it's not whatever, right? And I used to do the same thing. Ah, man, I could have done this better, right? But then
I
people
do that
don't
all the time.
people don't understand behind the scenes. They don't understand behind the
Right.
scenes of all this shit they went through. They they don't understand that they went through 75 focus groups and
Mm.
they made it pink instead of blue because of a certain reason that we don't know about. You
Oh,
know,
okay. Okay. See, I don't know
they
that.
don't exactly like we don't know that maybe the actual creative team that they put together a bomb ass logo for Instagram, their new redesign. I'm just saying Instagram because, but maybe the creative team put together a badass logo for Instagram or whatever for whatever company X. But when they got to the pitching it, the CEO of the company was like, "I hate it. You do this instead." All right, cool. Well, you're paying my bill, so I got to do that instead, I guess.
Yeah.
So they don't
Yeah.
see the behind the scenes. So I try not to knock on companies because or designers because of that because I've
Because
been
you
there
don't
before
know.
because
Right.
I've been there and I don't know the behind the scenes. Um, but yeah, if you just after a call, if you just Google like logo fails, you'll get a good laugh of all the ones that probably should never have made it into the public that have made it into the public. So yeah, those are out there.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. But you personally choose not to because, like, you understand the work and, like you said, what happens in those meetings that no one else
yeah,
but the people that are
yeah,
in there find out about. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
exactly.
interesting
And there, yeah,
because your line of work, your line of work, passion that you've chosen, could seriously put you in a situation where that would probably be the last design that you could make, right? Because I'm talking about as say you had an end goal where I want to accumulate this amount of money and then just live off of that. You could definitely do it because, like, I mean, you mentioned
yeah, for
Pepsi,
sure.
right? They could pay you
Yeah,
millions of dollars just for drawing a
yeah,
design for them, right? I
yeah,
mean, I don't know. I'm assuming,
yeah, yeah. No, I got you. Yeah,
basing it off on what you're saying, um,
yeah,
and
yeah.
and I don't hear about those stories because those companies are not many. Obviously, you just hear
Right,
about the people that post their videos online. Oh, I'm a designer. Oh, I do this. Oh, I work on the
right,
website. Oh, I work on that. Like you hear about
right.
those, but you don't hear about like the big ones, like the big ones.
Yeah,
Why do
yeah,
they keep those on the low? Why aren't they like more outgoing? Like, oh, it was this designer that designed
yeah.
that. Do they not want to
So
take the give the credit to the designer instead of just the company, or what is
no,
what?
that's a good question. That's a good question. So a lot of the times, you have two routes. Let's say for a company like Pepsi, we'll talk about Pepsi because they redesigned their logo. But number one is a lot of these companies have their internal creative team, which sometimes does it.
Okay.
Like they do a lot of the work for these companies. Um, but for the companies that don't have the internal creative team, they'll go to a big agency, right? So they won't go to one person, to me. Like
Okay.
if Pepsi's gonna spend $1 million, they're not gonna come to me, right? If they're gonna spend $1 million, they're gonna go to a company that has done the logo for Chevron gas station, that has done the logo for this, that have done the logo for
Mm.
this, and done the logo for this, because for $1 million, there's too much to risk with someone like me that they've never met. So to them,
Uh,
they're like, "We'll pay you $1 million. We know you've done this before. We know that you've done the whatever the logo for NFL, so you're not gonna mess up." And that's what those big agencies specialize. So it's a very advertising is super lucrative, right? Like millions and millions and millions of dollars. I mean, you've seen the Super Bowl spots for the commercials, right? How much is it like for a 30-second spot, whatever?
I
So those
have
are the big
no clue,
agents.
but I know it's
Those are the big
ridiculously amount.
agencies. Those are the big creative agencies that are doing these projects, right? That are doing these projects for the Budweisers of the world, and those budgets are ginormous, right? So, those budgets are like, okay, Budweiser, our client, and this year they give us $30 million for marketing and design. Okay, cool. So um, I don't think they use individuals, just like a one person thing. They might use them for what actually happens is the agency hires individuals like me to
Mhm.
sometimes work on special projects. Like if I'm really good at illustrating shoes, then this agency is like, hey, we have a client that needs someone to illustrate shoes. We're gonna hire you like behind the scenes, do work for us, and we're still gonna pitch it to them as our company because we hired you
Yeah,
behind the
you
scenes.
you're
So
their
so
representative.
they
Yeah.
subcontract. So that's what happens a lot too. Yep,
Ah, okay,
yep,
okay.
yep,
Yeah,
yep.
that's see, like I said, it's an interesting job. I never even thought about like it never even crossed my mind to look to seek a passion in that or
Yeah,
find interest in. But obviously, it's like every single one of us have different interests. Like you
yeah,
said, you could probably figure out how to do a podcast, but just it's not your passion, and you're not
yeah.
gonna seek it. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, definitely. That's interesting. What about do you have any when you're done with the design? Do you have any other passions besides designing?
And I think it's just as a whole, it's just making stuff. I just like making stuff. Like,
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I got good at design, but I just like making stuff. Like I like going to my backyard and putting together a barbecue. I don't know, like like I just have that. I can't sit still, and I like just making stuff. But yeah, yeah, I think that's what it is. I mean, because even when we go on like family trips, I'm the one making the videos. Again, because it's content create. I like making just creating stuff.
All
I
right.
just have a knack for that and a passion for that.
Right. Since you find
Yeah,
passion in that, and I know I have kids too as well. I have a
yeah,
10-year-old and a 8-year-old. I have
yeah,
two boys. Now they watch. This is what I wanted to bring up earlier, and they
yeah,
completely slipped my mind.
yeah, yeah,
When we were talking about content creators and success and making a
yeah,
living, well, don't go far. Just think about this little kid, Ryan. Have you
yeah,
heard of him?
yeah, for sure. For
How
YouTube.
much how much money does that kid have at 8 years old?
A ton of money, man. A ton of yeah. Just by yeah. Well, these kids that just open toys. Like I said, if you want to be broke nowadays, is because you don't want to put in the time. I guess there's kids making, and that's. I mean, there's memes out there, right? When it shows like you're putting on a clown suit because you're going to your 9 to 5, and these kids are making
Oh
$30 million a
yeah,
day.
opening
Yeah,
opening toys like
all being toys. Yeah, yeah.
and
And that's what I'm teaching my kids. Like my daughter, she likes to draw, right? She likes to draw. So I said,
okay.
okay, why don't you draw something for me? And I will print it for you, like stickers, and you sell them. Oh, really? All right, cool. So she printed out whatever, like, we print out some stickers for her, and we only did like 20. And she sold them, family and friends, whatever. And she was like,
Wow.
"Oh my god, like I can make money like that." I was like, "Yeah, if you make something, you can just sell it and make money." So it's
Yeah.
really just to get them in the mentality that they don't have to go work for someone if they don't want to. They can make their own. They can make their own money just being creative.
That's that's a
Yeah,
great idea that you just gave
yeah,
me right there. I'm gonna steal your
yeah,
ideas.
yeah.
um,
Handle it. You got to.
yeah, you know what? I try to implement in my kids' life, earn and learn. That's what I
Yeah,
try to do with them. So anytime they read a book and they get whatever it might be, whatever the case
yep,
may be, whatever you learned a new word, whatever, but you got something out
yep,
of that book.
yep,
When I can, I try to pay them for it. So that way,
yep.
that gets in their mind, like, okay, I can learn this, and maybe I can make money off of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, it's actually very true. People say, and I was one of the people that used to say, "Fake it till you make it." But then I heard, I think it was a dude from the guy that invented the hot Cheetos, a documentary or something, and he was like, actually, you should learn it to earn it. I like that better, because fake it till you make it, you'll get caught in your lies if you don't learn how to actually do it. You
Yeah,
can fake it till you make it to get in, but then you better learn how to really do it.
yeah, yeah.
You know?
You can only get
So
so far with that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. No, but I'm waiting for them to be at a certain age for them to just to expose them to that. Because I worry about it. Um, Even though I see the world and it's heading into that direction where it's all going to be online. It's
yeah,
already all
for sure,
online. I
for
should say,
sure,
right?
for sure.
Anything like we're living such incredible times that we literally can watch the war as it's happening. That's how
Yeah, that's
incredible
nuts.
times are, right?
That's
And,
crazy.
and
Yep.
the opportunities are endless. And like you said, people are poor because they choose to be poor and they don't find a passion for anything and they just want to stay. They're content to be where they're
Yeah.
at.
It's not even about being poor, because then it's gonna make me sound like fucking like like a pig or whatever. But it's not about being poor. It's about being unhappy with what you're doing. Because if someone wants to go and, again, I don't know, like dress up frogs for a living, but they love frogs and they love dressing up frogs, and as long as they make enough to live and they're happy as shit, like that's cool. But you just go do what you want to do, as long as you're successful in your own mind. You
Yeah,
know.
you know what? I'm glad you said this because I remembered what I talked about on my Wednesday episode that I'm uploading for Wednesday.
Right. Yeah.
I talked about a Cedric Lacuise. I don't think you've heard that name. I
No.
believe he's French. Okay,
Okay.
we're talking about people making money off of things that they learn to do and basically off of nothing to
Right.
something, right? Well, this guy he gets those giant bugs, the giant bugs, right? And he takes them all apart and he makes fairies out of all those
Oh, that's
bugs.
dope. That's awesome.
I was impressed by that. I was like, see, that thought would never even cross
Yeah.
my mind. Make
Yeah.
something out of dead bugs.
Yeah.
How? Where is that? That to me is just that's the simplest thing you could ever make.
Yeah.
You find a couple dead bugs and make a fairy out of them.
Yeah. For sure.
Now, I mean, he doesn't go out and find them, right? But he goes out to the store and
Yeah.
gets them because you have, in order to get a decent sized fairy, I guess you have to use those big bugs, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure you've
Yeah.
seen them, those scary ones. I'm not
But I
scared.
bet you people thought he was weird, and now I bet you people don't think he's weird. But people think he's badass.
No,
But back then he didn't care.
exactly, exactly. And that's what for most of us is the hardest thing to shake off. People
Yeah.
caring about what you're doing.
Yeah. No,
Eh,
for sure, for sure. And I told my daughter that too. I said, man, you got to embrace your weird. You got to be weird. Who cares? And me and us being uh, Latin, Hispanic, whatever you want to call it, like we're so
As long as you
scared
don't
of
call
people
it
making.
Latinx.
Oh yeah, you see, I agree with you. But that's something that, like, we're so scared of people making fun of us. I think that I was always like scared to like not fit in until I figured out, like, man, who gives a shit? Like, I'm too old for this kind of thing.
Hmm.
But that's how I grew up. Is always trying to fit in because I never fit in.
Yeah,
You know.
I that resonated with me a lot because, like I said, I've had small successes where like purchasing a home, that's a success.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Absolutely.
Building a comfortable life where you could seek a passion, that's another success.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
because there's people out there that really want to seek a passion, but they don't have the time. Or
Right.
you know what? We all have the same amount of hours, but other people have two jobs, so they spend a lot of time there. And I
Right.
understand being tired mentally. It's a whole different thing than being tired physically. I
Yep. Yep.
understand that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some people are put in situations that they cannot choose, but with a little bit of wanting to and a little bit of dedication, anything can happen. And time obviously we can't forget about time because it's
Yeah.
not gonna happen over time. I've been doing this podcast for 2 years. The
Yeah.
last 2 months, I was going through an episode where I was through a stage where I'm ready to give it all up because I'm not seeing any success.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I
Okay.
I I have this conversation with myself. So I tell
Okay.
myself, I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you gonna? You've already invested a monetary
Yeah.
value into what you're trying to do, and if you
Right.
give it up, those 2.5, 2 or plus or some years that I've been doing it, it's just gonna be all gone to waste. Now,
Yeah.
and if I keep doing it, well, then those 2 years are not gonna go to waste because I can. When I started doing this, the podcast, I started with my friend, and we used to talk
Right.
shit to each other, and then it went on to me like bringing in people and like finding like I like that was him way I found
Yeah.
you just to talk to
Yeah.
different people, and my friend that I started with, our goals were not aligned, and our
Right.
passions were definitely not
Right.
aligned because our goals were not. So I had to call it quits, and during that time, I went through an episode too where I was like, I'm done. This is done. I'm done. I'm not seeing any success. Now I got to do it completely different, and I don't know if I can sit down and talk to somebody like I am with you right now. I
Yeah.
didn't believe in myself, and
Right.
another thing on top of that was anytime I tried to have a conversation with somebody, it was a lot of damn it, I forgot what I was gonna say. A lot of that.
Yeah.
And now 2 years down the road, when I'm in that stage again where I'm ready to give it up, but I don't want to because of the investment in time
Right.
and money that I've invested in. I don't want it to go to waste. And also, the most important thing why I don't quit it is because my kids.
Yeah.
I
I feel
don't
you.
want them to see, well, you started this thing when I was 5 years old, it's six
Yeah.
years old, and you gave it up when I was 8, 9. I don't want to hear that. I want them to
No, I
see
feel
that
you, man. I feel you.
I want them to
I
see
feel
that
you.
with work and dedication, you can
This
make
is
it
the
happen.
episode that's gonna. This is the episode that's gonna turn it around. Watch. I'm telling you right now, we're
Oh,
gonna get so interviews.
appreciate it. I appreciate
But
the confidence. Thank you.
no,
Thank you.
it's cool, man, and it's funny because what you're going through is something that us designers that creative field like it's called the imposter syndrome, right? And
Horrible.
it's very common because we feel like we don't belong. We're imposters. I'm not a designer. I'm not that good, right? And I've made a TikTok about this, but it's huge, and it gets so bad that people are like, I'm just gonna quit because I don't want to do it no more because I'm not good enough because they're comparing themselves to fucking someone that's been doing this for 50 years. You're comparing I'm not saying you are, but like a
Oh
podcaster,
no, you're
they
right.
started 2 years
I
ago. You're
was.
comparing to someone that Joe Rogan. Oh, I'm never gonna be as good as Joe Rogan. That motherfucker's been doing this since the 80s.
you
Like
you dropped the name I was gonna drop. I was comparing myself to that this whole time I've been.
yeah, so it's like people were comparing themselves to things that are not relevant. So I
Yeah.
told I told people, man, stop looking at social media, stop comparing yourself, just do what makes you happy. Do like you said, do this for your kids and do this to just meet cool people. And when you just do stuff for yourself, success will come. The success that you
Yeah.
want to come is gonna come. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I've met like doing this also another thing that I find hard too is like when you meet somebody like and I'm saying this because this happened to me like recently,
Yeah.
like where like somebody came up to me, so like, oh yes, I'll help you out, I'll teach you this and that, and when it comes down to like the time that they're gonna show you the ropes or whatever they were gonna
Right.
teach you, they're nowhere to be found. That recently happened
Right.
to me, and that's another thing that I guess no one thinks of. That, but at least for me, I felt like it was just like it pushed me down. Like it was just like stop doing what you're doing. Like basically, like people
Yeah.
don't want to help you, and I was wrong for looking at it that way. Instead of saying, well, you know what, it is what it is. I'll keep going. He didn't want to help me. Oh well, whatever. You know, they, and it's
Right.
not like I seeked out the help because like with you, like same thing I did with him. I was like, hey, you want to come on my podcast? I have this podcast. I do this and that.
Yeah.
And the gentleman was the one to offer all this help, and it got me all excited. So it got into my feelings. That's why I was like, oh, I should give it up. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like this week I did things different, and it helped. At least for me, it helped a lot. So on Sunday, I was like, you know what? I there's an itch in me that doesn't want to give up the podcast because I want to keep finding people to keep doing it, and keep having these conversations.
Yeah.
So I can keep learning from people that are at different stages of their on their what's the word I'm looking for? Or their path.
Their path, their
Yes.
journey. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
you.
the journey.
Yeah.
There you go. In different stages of their journey, and I get to and like I'll pick your brain. You'll give
Yeah, for
you
sure.
you'll say something that'll trigger my brain and be like, oh, you could implement that, or you could use that in your life, or
Yep.
what if you start seeing it this way? You know, all kinds of things that are really help that are I feel like have and are really helping me as a person and to grow more. You know, because I so far I probably met over 100 people doing this, and
That's cool. That's
you
that's
know,
what it's about, man.
yeah,
That's what it's about. That's what it's about.
definitely.
My time's coming to an end, bro, because I gotta go soon. But
Yes,
check this out. Like, you're dope, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I love it. I
appreciate
love
it,
it.
man.
If you like, if when you post this or whatever, and you get people because you ask some good questions. You ask some good questions that I bet you other people want to know.
Okay,
Because to me, like I'm in this industry, so to me, it's like everyone knows how to make a logo. Everyone knows because I'm around those people, right?
right, of
But
course.
if you feel that you got some kind of following and they have very specific things they want to know, like let's hook up again and get more specific about certain things. Like if
Okay,
someone wants to talk about advertising or how do you get into this career or how do you things you wish you knew before you got into the career, like whatever, like let's do something more specific if you want, and that maybe helps out.
of
Again, I'm
course.
not making, you're not making money. You might be making money, I don't know, but I'm not making money off of like I'm just talking to people. But I think it's like if I can help one person, like to me that's cool. I like helping people, right? So if
Yeah,
I can help like one kid, um whatever, and help him land a job or whatever, like I'm all about that, you
that's
know.
success for you.
So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So
well, Edgar, I really, really appreciate you and the time that you have given me to have this
for sure,
conversation
man.
with you. It was fun, man. I it never crossed my mind that I will learn about what you do. And like I
Yeah,
said,
yeah, that's cool.
anything you want to leave us with?
Nah,
Lastly,
man. I think we just keep on grinding, keep doing what you like to do. You know, it's not always about money, man. It's about just finding what success means to you and just set a goal and just go hit it. You know, that's it.
definitely.
Hopefully the Lakers hit their goal tonight. They probably didn't. They probably lost their
Eh,
asses right now,
If
but
you wrote it
I haven't
down,
even
it might
looked.
happen. You'll find out pretty soon in a couple minutes.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. So cool.
Edgar, please plug all your social media links as well.
Yeah,
Please
for
go
sure.
ahead.
What's my social? I think they're all the same. Edgar underscore Garcia without the um GRCIA. Edgar EDGAR underscore GRCIA. Yeah,
Awesome.
I think
Pl-
that's everything. And then just if you, I think if you Google like Edgar Garcia Design Co. I think it comes up on Google. If I did a good job, I don't know,
oh,
maybe.
awesome, awesome.
Yeah,
Um, I'll stay in contact with you because
yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna need all your links too, so I can add it to the description of this
Yeah, let's
episode,
do it.
and I'll let you know when it's going up. It's going up this week though, but I'll let you know the exact day.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Tomorrow for sure. I'll let you know. But
Cool, man.
Edgar, I appreciate
Appreciate you,
you.
dude.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to have this conversation with you, and you have
Cool.
yourself a wonderful rest of your day, please. I appreciate
You
you.
too, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I'll catch you later.
Catch you
Peace.
later. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever thought about getting into design, web design, it's something that most of us don't ever think about. And, it's everywhere. You see it on everything you use, all the clothes, everything, every single item that you use, every single thing that you drink every day, they have designer work. Anyways, thank you very much. It is I, your host, Oscar. And that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen and non-binary folk. I appreciate you and every single one of you. You and every single one of you. Deuces!